Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's talk what, we got from middleweight to light heavyweight right in there because you don't never know where it's going to be. Right? We're going to talk about Canelo Alvarez, right? Which we didn't really want to. But Canelo Alvarez did exactly what I said he's going to do. It's two options I've been giving you guys over the last couple of weeks. One would be retire, right? Because I think, he's just retired for about 8 months and then the heat is off and then he could come back and say, hey, I have to get the rust off and then fight someone easy. Because the walls are closing in, there's nowhere to go. And the other option would be Gennady Golovkin. All right? Reason being, we know, let me just go through it. In the light heavyweight division, he's not fighting Gilberto Ramirez ever because Gilberto Ramirez is a Mexican, but he's a good Mexican. So that ain't happening. We know that. He's not fighting Artabet versus Joe Smith winner. We know that he's not doing that. He's not even fighting Dimitri Bivol. Right? Now, 175. Now, all of a sudden, seeing as though he wanted to go fight Usyk at 201 pounds at heavyweight, he wanted to fight Makabu at cruiserweight. But now, 175 pounds is too big for him. Let the people tell it now, right? Bivol's a small one. Bivol has also said, I will come to 168 to fight you, right? He don't want to do that either because that can be embarrassing. We talked about it. So, therefore, you got Gennady Golovkin. Now remember, your boy had a rematch clause, right? Canelo Alvarez had a rematch clause. This is huge. I think we need to say it out loud together, right? He ain't taking a rematch clause. Want to do it one more time? He ain't taking a rematch clause. What fighters don't do that? They put him in there so they can have a rematch. That's ridiculous, and that should kind of be embarrassing. But because it's Canelo, won't any mainstream media write it that way. They will tell you that somebody wants to see him versus Gennady Golovkin, who ain't done a damn thing his damn self for a long time. He's been in the middleweight division with Demetrius Andrade and Charlo and won't fight either one of them. Waited 2 years for Murata, right? That's what he'd been doing. So he doesn't deserve to fight. But of course, Canelo does that. This is the same thing. Now, my point here in this video is simple. Gennady Golovkin should ask for 50 damn percent. If you don't get 50%, he shouldn't fight. Simple. The leverage Gennady Golovkin has right now is incredible. It's that kind of Sergey Kovalev leverage, right? Sergey Kovalev had so much leverage. He was in light heavyweight. He had just fought Anthony Yard, and he didn't even have no months before Canelo picked him to fight, right? Because Canelo was not going to fight Demetrius Andrade for undisputed at middleweight, so he waited for Kovalev into November. He could have fought Demetrius Andrade in September, his date, for undisputed in the middleweight division. And everybody ignored that. All the media. Most of you don't know that. If you come here, I'll probably say it at the beginning of my video, right after Doma Sports Talk. I'll probably say that. I don't give a damn what I'm talking about. Because that's, for me, that was traumatizing. How the hell did all the boxing not see a middleweight undisputed fight? Just because Canelo was a part of it, and the guy he was fighting is a 50-50 fight, or probably 60-40 for Demetrius Andrade, so we ain't gonna talk about that one. We let Canelo go up here in light heavyweight, get a guy who just fought damn near September, in August, and then we won't talk about the Mexican holiday, we'll talk about November. Get the hell out of here. That's why, for me, it's all patronizing, right? But so Gennady Golovkin has that kind of leverage that Sergey Kovalev had. Sergey Kovalev got $12 million for that fight, because Canelo was gonna pay him everything. Just fight me so nobody start talking about Demetrius Andrade. And that's what happened. In this fight, Gennady Golovkin is the same situation. Canelo, is the only difference is don't talk about nobody. We can't talk about nobody in light heavyweight division. No Roberto Ramirez, no Artabet, no your boy Dimitri Bivol and that rematch. Right? We can't talk about nobody at 168. Benavidez just looks sensational. We ain't gonna talk about him. The WBC gonna help me not talk about him. The WBA regular champion is David Morrell. I ain't going nowhere near that. Demetrius Andrade's coming up to be the WBO mandatory. Oh, I can't go nowhere in 168, right? I told somebody better hurry up and fight John Ryder, because if he goes to 168, he's going to be looking for John Ryder. It's the only one he's going to be looking for. So it's Golovkin or John Ryder, or retire. That's what this is. 160 is still Jamal Charlo, and about to be Jamel. So all these people, he ain't fighting, right? He ain't getting nowhere near. So he has to fight Gennady Golovkin, right? And nobody is like, well, duh, who else was he going to fight? Of course, right? So Gennady Golovkin's never going to have this opportunity again, so he's better do that. And listen, Gennady Golovkin versus Canelo is not the biggest fight. It's not a fight that nobody's been looking for, or none of that stuff, right? It's not. If Gennady Golovkin, here's the difference for those who's like, well, Gennady Golovkin and Canelo is a big fight. No, it isn't. Canelo has been avoiding everybody, right? Demetrius Andrade and Charlo have been in parallel universes in the same divisions as both of these guys. But since Canelo's jumping divisions and to distract people that he don't want to fight them, Gennady Golovkin's in the same division the whole time, waiting on Murata. He could have took care of Demetrius Andrade or Charlo. Don't nobody be in my damn division undefeated and begging to fight me. How does that happen, right? How does that happen? So Gennady Golovkin is actually shouldn't be getting nothing. But difference between him and Canelo is ain't nobody calling Gennady Golovkin pound for pound. People still trying to call Canelo pound for pound. This flat-footed dude who's not close to pound for pound. He has a good left hook. I like his head movement, upper body movement. Right? He's ring generalship. Canelo is a good fighter, a very, very good fighter. But he's not in the top 10 pound for pound. And I'm saying not the top 10, right? Because of his actions. If he was top 10, there's no way that Demetrius Andrade would have got fought right now. He's been champion since 2013 in your divisions and been calling you out of your name. Same thing with Golovkin. You're not the top 25 middleweight in the last 25 years. Top middleweight. Because you wouldn't have no other middleweights in your division undefeated. That's not going to happen to any middleweight. That ain't happening to Roy Jones. Right? That ain't happening. That ain't happening to James Toney. That ain't happening to none of the good middleweights. Arthur Abraham would have had a problem with that. It's ridiculous. Right? Nobody, I ain't going to have nobody right next to me calling me out and he's undefeated and a champion forever. And the only reason they do that, Golovkin and Canelo, is because the media, helps them, enables them to do that. But we know that, right? But bottom line is, Gennady Golovkin has a lot of leverage because ain't nobody calling him pound for pound. Canelo needs this fight more than Golovkin. Golovkin should get 50% from it or don't fight him. Because Golovkin can go fight whoever he wants. Ain't nobody going to really care. Ain't nobody think Golovkin's one of the best no more. Right? He better fight one of them brothers or he ain't back in the mix, period, in people's head. Canelo, people still try to maneuver, well, Bivol was too big, which he wasn't, they're the same damn size, but okay, Bivol was too big so he can go back down to 168 and don't fight anybody that's hard. Right? You might start talking about a Caleb Plant rematch. Or Billy Joe Saunders is coming back soon with the eye socket messed up. But he's not going to say David Benavidez. He's not going to say David Morrell. He ain't definitely ever in his whole life going to say anything to the horrible fighter Demetrius Andrade. So how the hell? So my point, like I said before, Gennady Golovkin get 50% or just don't fight him. See what happens then. I guarantee you Gennady Golovkin get 50% right now if he try it. You 40 years old, go on get it, bro. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.